Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is that time of the week once again. Welcome back to a Super Bowl edition of the We Hate Sports podcast. All right, first and foremost, first day of Black History Month. Wagwan, my brothers and sisters who all listen to all of us out there. All right, my name is Billy Cameron, aka PC. Join this week. We got Gianni and the return of Jello on the podcast for this week, guys. Um,
We
there is
back.
going to be a whole lot that we have to discuss regarding Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara this upcoming Sunday, what the legacy means for Drake May and Sam Darnold. We also are going to be breaking down what groups on the team are actually going to be a lot better than the other. All right, so we'll break down our predictions, give out final scores, and of course, Super Bowl MVP as well. But not to be outdone, the NBA All Star break is right around the corner, which means that the NBA trade deadline is also right around the corner. We got to talk about the biggest piece that may potentially be moved at that deadline being Giannis Antetokounmpo and his time with Milwaukee potentially being over, and what players we want our teams to actually go after this trade deadline as well. So make sure that you get your popcorn ready for another episode of WHS, baby. Follow us on our socials, we sports all across the board. We're available on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We post everywhere. So if you don't catch us, I don't know, you've just been lacking, man. But without further ado, let's get into the first half of this episode, which is, of course, going to be centered around Super Bowl 60 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. A rematch of what we got in the Super Bowl, funny enough, a decade ago. You can never tell me that the NFL isn't a script. I mean, my goodness, the way that time is a flat circle in the league is kind of crazy. But this time around, it's not Tom Brady versus Russell Wilson. It's actually Drake May taking on Sam Darnold. Drake May versus Sam Darnold, Patriots versus Seahawks. And these are two quarterbacks that, honestly, I don't think anybody has, you know, the opportunity or anybody has put them either of these quarterbacks in the top five conversations, and yet here they are in the final game of the season. Um, when we talk about legacy for two quarterbacks like this, it is kind of an interesting conversation to have in regards to which quarterback is going to be remembered the most for the performance in the biggest game of the year in the NFL. So, whose legacy is more defined with a Super Bowl win? Jello, I'll start with you this week.
Hey, welcome. Glad to be back. Glad to be back, man. It's been a while, but let's get into it. Let's start off with these Patriots. There's a whole new look Patriots, and nobody expected them to get as far as they did this year. First year head coach and Mike Vrabel. We got Drake May, second year coming in, and they have done some crazy things now. Um, Looking on the other side, we got Mike McDonald. He has been exceptional coach since he's gotten to Seattle. Like I said, Sam Darnold been doing his thing, proving the doubters wrong. Second year straight with 14 wins. This is crazy. This is a very unpredicted quarterbacks duel that we got going on. Now, as far as legacies go, I'm gonna be honest. I think Sam Darnold has a little bit more going for as far as his overall legacy than Drake May right now. Because looking at the two of them, we have a Sam Darnold who was kind of on a Geno Smith type of trajectory. He didn't have as much success, coming into the league. Got drafted by the Jets. Jets aren't going nowhere. He really made a real turnaround in his career, and in that draft class that we were talking about, Baker Mayfield, freaking Josh Allen, we have Lamar Jackson, all of these great quarterbacks, and Sam Darnold is the first one to make a Super Bowl and has a chance to win it. That speaks volume on his legacy. Um, Drake May making it in his second year. He has a lot more career left to go. So a loss wouldn't hurt his career as much, wouldn't hurt his legacy or anything because, it's plenty, chances, plenty opportunities for him. But Sam Darnold, this is going to be a pretty much like a superhero story in a way. Like nobody saw this coming. Nobody would expect Yeah, so I give Sam Darnold, the edge as far as who has the bigger impact on legacy in this game. So
Gianni?
I agree with Jello 100%. It has to be Darnold because looking at his career, the arc basically with the Jets, then going to Carolina at one point, then going to San Francisco, learning behind Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy and all the coaches and everything, the coaches and the quarterbacks there that have been there for a while. And then you see him go to Minnesota and had that 14-3 season, a disappointing ending. The last two games last season, we know how that ended for them. And then he comes to Seattle. And Seattle coming into the season, I didn't think Seattle was going to be an actual team that can get to Super Bowl. I thought they could be a wild card team and probably make it to the second round, but I didn't think it was going to be this like this kind of jump. And seeing Sam Darnold the way his career has gone and everything, this will a Super Bowl win will be so much big for his legacy. Honestly, with his career path and everything, I think he needs a Super Bowl more. I think because Drake May is 23. This is his second season. Like Jello said, he's gonna have probably many opportunities to get a ring. So I think legacy wise, Darnold needs this Super Bowl. And plus, like Jello said, is a Super Bowl like a superhero like mission basically he's on and stuff like that. But like and plus story wise too, because the legacy is going to be around that story, and I think Darnold's story is just amazing.
Well, if you're asking me, Gianni, Jello, this this kind of a trick question in a way. When I when you bring up legacy when it pertains to a quarterback, we all know how important that is. Okay? We all know how important it is to do a certain thing or to beat a certain opponent. And we talked about it in past with other quarterbacks in the league. And yeah, we all know how it works, right? Let me set up when I say this. Drake May winning the Super Bowl would be so much more impactful than if Sam Darnold did it. I think for this entire season, everybody knows what Sam Darnold is. He's not this amazing top five quarterback. He's not even top 10 quarterback. We know what Sam Darnold's legacy is going to be, especially if he gets a ring. He would have been the first in his draft class, which featured Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield, to not only make it to the Super Bowl, but ultimately to win it as the starting quarterback. Excuse me, that would be impressive. That would be impressive. But when we look back at, someone like Sam Darnold who could potentially win, nobody's going to remember him as this all-time great.
like
Feel what I'm saying? Drake May, for as bad as he's played this playoff run, and trust me when I say Drake May has played bad this playoff run. History is written by the victors, and if there's anything that I remember seeing in the past with quarterbacks, it's that you can have the most subpar career, the most mediocre career, and you can essentially be not as great as everyone remembers you for. And for someone like Drake May, to be able to actually have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl only in his second year, I mean, that is something that Patriot fans I know are going to brag about until the cows come home. That's something that analysts that clearly do not have certain agenda for are going to brag about until the cows come home. Uh, Having Drake May's legacy being, oh, he's the guy that won the Super Bowl in just his second season in New England, being the predecessor, the true predecessor to someone like Tom Brady. That's a more viable legacy builder than, okay, journeyman finally gets his ring. In my opinion, anyway. I mean, for Sam Darnold's, like, again, I would know what his legacy is going to be. And I think, like, everybody knows that Sam, he isn't really the type of guy that'll guide you to victory. But the way that Patriot fans are talking and
Okay,
the way
wait, hold on,
that
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I feel like that's a little Okay, I get the legacy part of it. Yes, definitely, because we're not going to remember Sam Darnold as an otherworldly quarterback. Obviously, yes, but what he has done in these past 2 seasons, we can't just say that Sam Darnold is not a winning quarterback. Like he can't get you like necessarily.
I'm saying I don't trust Sam Darnold to guide us to victory with like 2 minutes left to go. He's never
Okay,
been put in that spot, but
I get what
also
you're saying.
two, he hasn't again, he's never been that kind of quarterback.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
okay, okay, okay. Because I was
so
about to say we're not going to disrespect him now,
yeah, no,
but
he's been winning. I mean, I'm not going to take away the winning. I can't take away the winning because he has.
mhm.
He's in the Super Bowl. Um, but like in terms of being just that guy, no,
Yeah,
he's never
okay,
been that.
I got
And
you.
it's interesting because of the way that both these quarterbacks have had like this certain narrative about them. Um, you want to talk about a quarterback that's actually been carried, like especially in this postseason run, someone that's actually been carried. It's been Drake May. Drake May has not been good. All right. I mean, look, white media will tell you, but I'll gladly tell you that man had 86 passing yards in the AFC Championship, 55 yards passing in the AFC Championship before that blizzard came in. And nobody's got a bad eye to it because it don't matter. He picked up the win, right? There's just been this like like arching theme throughout this entire season, and Gianni can attest to this. It don't matter what the stats look like as long as you pick up the only stat that matters, which is the dub. And Sam Darnold, someone that has done that and at points this season excelled in that. Same thing for Drake May in this regular season. That's regular season. Come postseason time, up against this defense for Seattle. Look, I'm not saying he's going to like get exposed or anything. I don't even think getting exposed is the right word to describe what Seattle's defense might do to Drake May, bro. Like I think it's gonna get ugly. I do think it's gonna get real ugly come this next Sunday, man. Um, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong. Look, I could be the first to admit I've been wrong about the Patriots practically this entire season. I don't think a lot of people even had them getting this far. But we're gonna have to see how it all unfolds when Seattle takes on New England. Again, time is such a flat circle. In the Super Bowl, on NBC 10 years ago with the Super Bowl on NBC. Crazy. Um, so we'll have to see how it all pans out. All right. Legacies are definitely going to be defined by more than one player in this final game of the season. So with that in mind, we gotta head to the next topic. We can actually talk about team core. All right. Between the Seattle Seahawks, who, picked up 14 wins in the regular season, en route to having the 1 seed, and then barreling through San Francisco, being out LA, both division rivals. And then on the other side, you have the Patriots who popped in as a 2 seed, handled business against LA, handled their business, um, handled their business against Denver. I forgot who they faced in the divisional round. My mind's drawing a blank. I don't know why.
Houston.
Houston,
Yeah,
thank you.
Texans.
Um, there is a lot to be said about like specific groups on this on both sides. So we'll break down each and every single group that we see. From offense to defense to coaching to special teams. So to start off, a bit more of I guess a preference on which one you guys would prefer. Starting with quarterbacks, would y'all prefer Sam Darnold or Drake May? If you're asking me, I'm going with Sam Darnold. I
Yeah,
feel like
I'm easily taking Sam Darnold. One, experience level. Two, what they have shown me in the playoffs. Drake May has been terrible this playoffs, and it has been masked by not only how good the defense has been, but the teams that they have played. We're talking about a CJ Stroud that they went up against, and he was throwing up intersections like Christmas presents. Um, we're talking about a gift and Bo Nix going down, and Jared Stidham having to play in the snow at that when it's barely enough cover, barely enough plays that you can make in the snow as far as throws, especially with a backup quarterback. And just going in, he has not played great. He hasn't thrown over 200 yards in this playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe that he has thrown 200
I
yards
don't
yet.
think so.
Um, Turnovers have been not his strong suit. If I'm not mistaken, he had 3 turnovers in the Texans game. He had 1 turnover in the Broncos game. Both in the snow. It's taking care of the ball. It's your second year. You got room to grow. But as of right now, I'm taking Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, he has a little bit of the same issue. He has a turnover problem, but these playoffs, he has been showing up. He's been keeping the ball. He's been managing the ball. He's been pretty good. Um, he can sling that thing. To be honest with you, pause, pause. He can sling it,
Oh,
but
come on.
Jesus.
I'm over here putting the mic to
pause,
damn.
pause. But when we talking about Sam Darnold, he has the more experience. He has been more reliable this playoffs. I'm taking Sam Darnold every day of the week.
Same, I agree, Joe. And plus, like the Rams game, for example, like in the fourth quarter, he made big plays in the fourth
Oh yeah,
quarter, which impressed me honestly because that was the one thing that I wanted to see with a game that was going back and forth. Can you make those big plays down in the stretch and everything like that? And he made those plays. Drake, I understand, these games been a turnover issue, like how you said. And then going back to Sam Darnold, he led the league in turnovers. In this playoffs, he has been taking care of the ball and he's actually taking shots down the field, basically. So, and he's been more consistent in these two playoff games than I think in certain games this season, which is amazing to see because come Super Bowl time, that's going to be that's going to be a strong suit for them, honestly, taking those shots because I think the Patriots defense is kind of sometimes their secondary could be a little like iffy sometimes, in my opinion. So I think this is the perfect game for Sam, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the perfect game to turn around that narrative about someone like Sam Darnold. So I think we're all in agreement right there. I'm going with Sam. Next up, running backs on both sides. For Seattle, you got Kenneth Walker, of course, and then Zach Charbonnet, who got hurt. He's out for this Super Bowl. Meanwhile, the other sides, you got J. Stevenson and a Trayvon Henderson for New England. All right, which core are you going with, Gianni?
I look at the injury for Seattle. I feel like it is a big one, honestly. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots group, honestly.
Mm,
I feel like that injury, if there's something that could cost them in the Super Bowl, is that injury. I think to Charlemagne. Honestly, that's a big injury. I think it didn't hurt them in the championship game, but if there's one thing that can hurt their offense is that, honestly.
Jello?
I'm gonna say one thing. So as far as the cores go, I'm 100% taking the Patriots only because of the Charbonnet injury. I hated that for him, man. That core. Him and Walker have been going crazy. I really like how Stevenson has been, picking up his slack after that big fumble problem that he had in the beginning of the season, and he's been protecting the ball a lot more. Travion Henderson he has been the back that I was saying out of college he was going to be, and I am showing. I'm proud of him. He's showing up. But as far as that core goes, I really like their group a little bit better. Um, I think if the Patriots do pull it off and win on offense, it's gonna be because of them. It's 100% gonna because of running the ball, making them plays. I really like those two as far as the core goes. Um, in my opinion, though, that is not going to be Seattle's downfall because that is not necessarily their game. They knew how to adjust without Sharba from what I've seen in the championship game. But I'm going to save that for the next receiver group and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think once again we're all in agreement. New England. A lot of what I think they're going to be able to accomplish against Seattle is just be able to chew off time of possession, which is going to be essential against this defense. I think you can pull that off, but to pull it off, you gotta be able to run the ball. And Seattle's run defense is still top five. I mean, which the group we'll get into later on. But like you said, Henderson has been great. Stevenson, he likes to show flashes of his greatness. Ultimately, though, I would pick New England's running back group over Seattle's because of that shoulder injury, which is a bit unfortunate. But as far as the next group goes, receivers, that's wide receivers and tight ends combined. Seattle, with we already know what they're bringing to the table. JSN, you got someone like AJ Barner, Cooper Cup, who was so essential in the NFC Championship game. Rashid Shaheed, who had that explosive kick return to start off the game against 49ers. Meanwhile, on the other side from New England, Stephon Diggs, who showed up clutch, in the AFC Championship as well. You have Hunter Henry. It's a very underrated group. I feel like we're all gonna be like I feel like we're all gonna pick the same group again though. But I do want to say I do think New England's like receiving core is a bit underappreciated, especially considered. Um, but I think we're all gonna have the same answer here. I mean, it's obviously Seattle, right? I mean,
Yeah, I agree. It's
yeah,
Seattle. But yeah, like how you said about New England, their receiving core is underappreciated. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle. But I'm gonna give them a complete big edge, like because they're a respectable group, honestly. That receiving core for New England. And JSN, man, this whole season, man, been incredible, man. That I think he has like almost, including the playoffs, almost like 2,000 yards or even over that. I lost track of that already, which is insane.
crazy. Jello.
Yeah, you usually got to go Seattle on this one. But big props to New England. Diggs, you've been balling. Um, name you did not mention, but has really been stepping up. Pop Douglas, shout out to him.
Yeah.
He has been doing his thing very quietly, and people have not been mentioning him. But he got my props for sure. This season he has been stepping up. Obviously Hunter Henry, um, those guys over there, but Seattle got some dogs on them.
Mm.
JSN, he has been on a tear this season. Cooper Cup, he has finally been stepping up. Rashid Shaheed, man, he has been killing. He has been
What
killing,
has been
especially in the
required?
playoffs. I know that he is happy that he is no longer in that nasty what is it, gold that he was in New Orleans, because woo, he is showing out. He's finally on a winning team. You can tell that he has that joy back, and he has been stepping up. Shout out to him. Seattle 100% has the better wide receiver group. There's no debate there. So it's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, she that but what acquisition from New Orleans. I think it went over a lot of people's heads when it first happened too, but he's been awesome. Um, Offensive line, for both sides. Which team are you going with here? We'll stick with you on that one, Jello.
Okay, I feel like offensive line. I feel like I would still want to go the Patriots here. They have been holding up 100%. The they've been protecting Drake May pretty much this whole season, especially the playoffs. They've been really stepping up. And that's been the reason why they've been winning games for the most part. He's been, yes, he has have his turnover problems, but that hasn't been on the offensive line. It's been holding onto the ball a little bit too long. Making little mistakes like a second year quarterback would do. But their line, their core, I really like how they're structured. I like how they've been protecting him. I would 100% take New England's line over Seattle. Seattle's has been good now, but I'm taking New England on this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually have to agree with you there. Uh, again, it goes back to the injury issues. Charles Cross, which is such a key important part on that Seattle O line, was a bit banged up going into that championship game. These 2 weeks of rest, I think, is going to really benefit Seattle because if they were fully healthy, I'm taking Seattle all the way. But I think because of the injuries, I would have to go with New England. Gianni.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I forgot that Seattle's O-line is a little banged up. It's been a while. It's been like almost like a week. So like I forgot their O-line was a little banged up. That Patriots O-line been holding up. You know, like Joe said about that Drake May has been holding on to the ball. That's been the reason why he's been sacked a couple of times. Like against Houston and Denver, like the pass rush has been able to get to him because he's holding on to the ball a lot. But they've been doing a pretty good job, honestly, all year too, which is impressive because that's what they did in the draft offensive line.
Yeah. Um, we'll go now to the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk about the defensive line for both sides. And you know, I do think at least for the first quarter of this game, I think it's going to be a real defensive battle. I do think New England's defense, as I'm sure plenty of Patriots fans have like pointed out, has been disrespected in a sense. I think those guys are a bit hungry. But that being said, I'm still going with Seattle's defense because what are we talking about here? I mean, come on, look, it don't take. Look, Tariq Woolen almost sold the entire season for the Seattle Seahawks with that very stupid penalty that he took. And guess what? Witherspoon came in and he was like, "Nah, buddy, that ain't gonna work for me," and he did his thing. All right. There are a lot of standouts on that defense that just constantly find a way to make plays happen. Um, and Mike McDonald, what more can I say? He's come in. He's missed multiple family outings. He's missed I think the birth of his child's just to game plan, you know, for a chance to even get to this spot. He's a defensive minded guy. It makes the most sense in the world that I go with Seattle's defensive line right here. But
I agree, honestly. Their defense, top to bottom, in like all three levels, is just amazing. They were number one scoring defense as well. That's the other thing too. Entering the season, basically this entire season, they are really consistent. And one thing I see about them, their plays and everything, that they'll have like they have like guys that like get after a ball and everything, but they're not like big name players. But they
mm,
all play together as a unit, and it is incredible. Honestly, they're a really good defensive team. It's impressive to watch.
mm. Jella?
Yeah, I gotta go with Seattle's defense, man. We got the mastermind in Mike McDonald. First of all, obviously we got him at coach right now, but Demarcus Lawrence, D Law, I miss you so much. um, he has been stepping up and has been going crazy this season. I'm really proud of him. He's been doing his thing. Byron Murphy, he has been showing up. He's been very underrated. A lot of people haven't been talking about him much, but Byron Murphy has really been showing out this season. We got Leonard Williams. Patriots side, we got some dogs too now. They got Milton Williams, who has been balling this playoffs.
Yeah.
Milton Williams, 100%. But as far as the overall structure, you got to take Seattle's D line on this one. I mean, it's not even much of a debate there. They're just
Yeah.
better structured, way better equipped. Yeah, you got to take them.
Byron Murphy. I mean, worth every single penny when he
Mm,
Texas man. Worth every single penny.
right.
Um, let's go to the linebacking core now, though. All right, on the New England side, they got a couple of dogs of their own. All right, they got Harold Landry, they got Casey Young. All right. Meanwhile, on Seattle side, still got Demarcus Lawrence, as you just previously mentioned. Leaning that core. So, which side are you going with here? I feel like this one's a bit more balanced.
Yeah. When it comes to the linebackers, I would go with New England here. Robert Spillane, he has been doing his thing. We got Harold Landry, he's been killing. Um, I just like that core a little bit better than I like Seattle's. They're very balanced. I really like both of them, but if we're gonna tip the scales here, I'm gonna tip it a little bit more to New England and how they've been performing, especially in the playoffs, especially with all of the mistakes and stuff that the offense has been making. They have really been stepping up on the linebacker spot, and I really like that. I'm gonna go look New England on that one.
Mm.
I'm
G.
gonna go. I'm gonna go with Seattle by a slight edge, honestly. I like Ernest Jones, man, there in the middle too. Like I feel like they're gonna be in great shape, honestly, against the tight ends and stuff.
Yeah. This I think the linebackers specifically for New England are going to be the ones that keep them in the game for as long as they will be.
Hmm.
I'm thinking like it's like a maybe 21 about I don't know. This game's either going to be a blowout by halftime or it's going to be a very close game by halftime. I don't think there's really an in between right here because again, I don't really trust New England's offense as a whole to go up and down the field against Seattle's defense. And this Seattle's just a more complete team. So I could see this being like a 13-10 score going into halftime, or I could see it being a 27 nothing score going into halftime. So if there is one group for New England that is going to keep this close game, it's going to start with the linebackers. It's going to start with guys like Carol Landry and Le'Veon Kazin. So I think that I'm going to give the edge here to New England for linebackers. But now we'll go to the secondary. All right.
Woo.
Secondary, man. That's so close. Because I love Christian Gonzalez.
Hmm.
Nah,
Um,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with New England. I'm gonna go with New England. I have to. I
I
don't know.
agree. I agree, PC. I'm gonna go in New England.
That's so close though.
I think basically this season they've been like 1 and 2 basically in coverage from what I saw. So
Yeah.
either one can't you can't go wrong with either one, honestly. But I'll go with New England by a slight edge.
Mm,
man, I gotta take Seattle though.
that's fair.
I
That's
gotta
completely
take
fair.
Seattle. Man, Witherspoon after that cleanup, that last game showed me something, man. And yes, Tariq Woolen, yes, he had blunders, but we cannot deny that he is a great coverage, um, a very good cover man. When he is not making those type of mistakes, with the unsportsmanlike conduct and stuff. Josh Joby has been stepping up this year. Josh Joby, I really and truly think that he is one of the X factors in that secondary outside of Kobe Bryant. But Josh Joby, I really like his game. Um, Christian Gonzalez, he is that dog. He is that dude. But I feel like Seattle secondary is just a little bit more complete, in my opinion, and it's not by much, but I just got to give them the slight edge right there.
Mm. And before we get to penultimate, second last one, penultimate one, special teams. All right, because we all know this football is a game of inches, but it also can come down to just a extra point missed or a field goal miss. Um, which special teams group are you taking?
I'm going with Seattle special team and like all phases because Shaheed can take it to the house.
Mm,
Their field goal kick their kicker actually is pretty consistent most of the season, and it, it's just that they do a better job in all the phases. Honestly, better than New England. Even though Marcus Jones, man, can take it to the house, but I just give it to Seattle.
mm. Uh,
Yeah, but
no, I was go ahead, Joel.
yeah, all around, special teams, we got to go Seattle. Marcus Jones on the Patriots, though, he has been killing. Oh my gosh. I as far as punt returns go, punt returns, kick returns, I would take Marcus Jones over Shaheed right now. But other than that, Jason Myers on the Seahawks. I mean, he's been the more what you call it, accurate kicker throughout his career. First of all, you got Andy Regalis. He is just finding his footing. He's a rookie. You ain't expecting too much out of him, but um, punting, kicking, special team, like just all around, special teams. You got to go Seattle on there. Be breaking
Mm,
it down.
yeah, Seattle for sure. Um, just as a complete group, like I mean, I feel like they've just been the better unit this year. And finally, we have coaching. Which head coach would y'all take, Mike Vrabel
Ooh,
or Mike McDonald. I'm actually I'm gonna take Mike Rabel here. And
Okay.
the only reason, the biggest being is that he has been in this spot before as a player. He has been in this spot multiple times. He knows what it takes. And again, this goes back to a lot of people not even thinking New England would be here in the first place. That is a sign of great coaching. Rabel should have been the guy last season that they hired instead of just, you know, paying off a favor from Gerard Mayo. Uh, because yeah, he's been great. He has been great, and I do think a lot of people are starting to recognize that. As a result, I think I'm gonna go with Mike Vrabel. No shade to Mike Daniel, who's been or Mike McDonald, who's been awesome. He's led excellent team, but I have to go with the experience point here.
Yeah,
Yeah. I definitely agree with you with Mike Vrabel. This is a man that we had the Titans in a freaking one seed in the AFC. Like he has the experience. He's done his thing. And first of all, to come in his first year with the Patriots and do what he's doing right now with these guys, these group of guys, bringing them to the Super Bowl. Nobody with this current roster, how it's constructed, we did not expect this team to have more than 9, 10 wins at best. And to be a Super Bowl team, that just shows you how much of a good coach Mike Vrabel really is. I know the Titans are sick that they let him go like they did, but he is really showing up. Mike McDonald is that dude, though. Mike McDonald, give props to him. Second year coach, he learned a lot from Harbaugh, being in Harbaugh's group and everything. But at the end of the day, got to give it to the experience. Got to give it to the more proven coach, and Mike Vrabel is that. So
yeah,
Mm.
I agree too as well. Plus, Mike Vrabel took the Titans to the AFC Championship game, I think in 2019. Like taking the Titans to the championship game is crazy, honestly, from all teams. So I'm gonna go with Vrabel because of the experience and everything. And he also played. I think he won 3 Super Bowl rings as a player with the Patriots as well.
Hmm.
So
mhm.
it's important that too as well, the experience factor.
The experience matters, especially in the biggest game of the year. But now, all that out of mind, all right, get to the third and last topic about the Super Bowl for tonight's episode. All right, our Super Bowl 60 predictions, final score of the game, and y'all Super Bowl MVP. Jello, we'll start with you.
I'm so sorry, Patriots. Y'all had a great season. Y'all really did. Um, Seahawks are finna destroy these dudes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm gonna be generous here. I'm gonna give it to the Seahawks 27-10. That's my final score. Super Bowl MVP, Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's my guy. He's gonna get it. Yep.
What- did this dude watch my video or something, bro? What is that? That's
What?
straight out my TikTok, bro.
No way. I
Uh,
didn't even see it.
you're, yo, this dude's not serious. This is
No way.
I bring you
You
on
said
the episode and you just copy me bar for bar,
wait. What
word
was your
for
score?
word.
What was your score?
27-10.
That's
Jackson Smith and Jingba
crazy.
as Super Bowl
Oh,
MVP.
that is crazy.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, I didn't even see that either as
What
well.
the heck? Nah, that's crazy. That's
This is
wild. Hey, great minds think alike. I had
no,
him.
no, I can't be associated. I can't be associated with Honduras, man. Oh my God, Gianni.
I'm gonna go.
You'll be all right.
I'm gonna go 31 Seattle 31 to 14. It's gonna be a blowout, honestly. And my Super Bowl MVP. This is gonna be a surprise Super Bowl MVP. I'm gonna go with Ernest Jones as my Super Bowl MVP. I think he's gonna get a fumble recovery, and the other thing, I think he's gonna get an interception as well, which will be it sounds crazy, but I think is going to happen. I think he's gonna get an interception and a fumble recovery, and I think they're going to win 31 to 14. So yeah.
I wouldn't
Uh,
be surprised if a defensive player gets MVP, but if anyone does, in my opinion, it would probably be um Byron Murphy. I feel like he'll have a lot more of an impact on that line, getting to the quarterback. I feel like if any defensive player was to get it, it would be him in my opinion. But yeah, that's a that's an interesting one. I like that too. I do like yeah.
Well, for the sake of being different, I guess I'll go with the final score of 28-10 instead. I'm still having JSN as my Super Bowl MVP because yeah, he a baller,
Fireball.
man. He a baller. I still can't believe this. He got like there's just no way, bro. There's just no
I
way.
didn't see your video. I promise I didn't.
Uh,
I'm actually after the podcast. I'm gonna go and watch it. I'm gonna go and watch it, and I'm gonna be amazed. I know I am.
Right. Well, yeah, Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. All right. This Sunday. Bad Bunny being the Super Bowl headliner, on NBC, man. You will have to wait and see how it all pans out. But we're already halfway through the episode, so quick wire check-in for all your listeners, for all the listeners. All right. Make sure y'all stay hydrated, of course. All right, just making sure it doesn't score on me this week. Currently this currently someone in chat, Patriots fan in chat said JSN about to get locked up. Buddy, do you know how JSN be moving, brother? Can we be serious for a sec? I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna get wicked, bro. I'm trying to be generous. But hey, we'll have to see how it pans out. Um, but to carry on, I do want to say first day of Black History Month. And of course this predominant month. I'm mad the thing that I wanted to wear today thing isn't supposed to come until tomorrow. But hey, man, when y'all see it. Y'all will see it. But let's divert from the NFL real quick and let's talk about the NBA because we're almost at the All-Star break. And because we're almost at the All-Star break, we already had the starters and reserves announced for the East and West. Not only that, trade deadline is coming up soon. Um, so we have to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, who just so funny enough, declared himself out for about 4 to 6 weeks, dealing with a calf injury. While after saying that he wanted to be requested. He requested a trade away from the Bucks after spending his entire career with them, and he's already named a couple of dream destinations, which includes the Knicks, the Heat, amongst other teams. So there is a lot of discourse when it pertains to Giannis and how this is going about. I think we all know this kind of been built up for a while, and now that it's finally like coming to a head, which team do you think is going to make the best offer possible to get Giannis Antetokounmpo? Gianni.
When I look at all the offers, man, it's easy to say Golden State because they have those four first round picks. But man, PC, PC and Joe, you know this. It's been 6 years. I've been throwing this theory out. I need Giannis in Miami, man. It. I just need. I think we got the best offer, honestly, because we have three first round picks, and if we trade Wiggins for, I don't know, like a other first or something, or get our other pick, it is probably the best offer. We have a mix of young players and three first round picks. I don't know how much better than you can get with that because if you look at the Warriors package is Kaminga, Draymond Green, and four first round picks. That's the Warriors. That's supposedly the best offer right now for Giannis. Draymond Green and Kaminga. So I don't know, man. I think Hero, Wiggins, maybe Jovic and three first might be better than that.
You see, Gianni. I expected more from me, brother. I mean, unbiased answer aside, do you really like? Do you really think that Giannis wants to play for the Heat?
Well, Chris Haynes. I don't know if you guys think Chris
Oh,
Haynes is
he said
reliable.
that that was one of his desired trade destinations. If I'm not mistaken, he did. He
He
definitely.
did say it was one of his desired trade destinations.
Mm-hmm.
if Milwaukee actually wants to trade him in the conference in the division.
Mm-hmm.
You want
Doubt
to
it.
know, but you want to know what Chris Haynes? Chris Haynes usually throws out one or two teams that he wants to sign an extension because the main reason why he wants to trade right now is because if he gets traded in the summer, he can't get that 275 max deal with his new team. So he needs this trade to happen by Thursday. So Chris Haynes said throughout only one team he's already willing to agree, and it was with us, honestly. So that Chris Haynes threw it out, and nobody said that he was going to sign an extension with the Warriors. The Wolves and the Knicks are the other two teams, but it's pretty hard for the Knicks and the Wolves to do the deal because they need a third and maybe a fourth team because we saw the Miles Mikal Bridges trade that they trade 5 first round picks, which basically stops the Knicks from even doing it. Honestly,
Well, I don't know. Jello, a rebuttal?
Um, Gianni, I'm so sorry. I was laughing as soon as I heard the Heat. Um, I couldn't believe you were saying that. But get into it. Um, a sleeper team that I have really been thinking about that could really land Giannis, the Bulls. And it's very funny to me. I know it's funny, but they have been turning out to be a team that has a lot to offer, and I think that they could do some things with Giannis. As
hold
far
up, hold up, hold up, Joe. You laugh at me, but then you say the Bulls.
hey, look,
This is pretty
look,
I
funny,
look,
I,
look,
I
man.
look,
mean,
look, look.
what was this?
In
What
my
was my
opinion,
great
in my
podcast gonna say?
honest and true opinion, I do not think Giannis is getting traded at all. But this is my sleeper team, y'all. This is my sleeper team. Reminder. This
So
is like
so so who's yours? Who's your team? Because I'm scared. If that's your sleeper team,
Warriors.
I'm scared to know what you're
Warriors.
sleeping.
No, Warriors are that's my team. That's who I think he's going to get traded to.
Mm,
Like they have the best, the four first. I'm pretty sure that Podziemski is going to go in that trade. Um, but the Bulls, back to them, back to them. Look, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Now
Lord.
we saying Matas, we saying them picks that they got. Well, that if I'm not mistaken, it's three first that they have on the table. Um, we pair Giannis. We got Alonzo if he stays. If he stays, I don't know how it's gonna go. We got some nice little pieces on Chicago now. I think he could do a little something with them, and I think that they have a really good trade package for them if he was to go anywhere. But in my honest and true opinion, I do not think Giannis is leaving Milwaukee. Not this season at all. He's going to be playing for Milwaukee till the season is over. Then
So
from there, we'll see.
so let me get this straight. The first answer y'all gave was Miami, which, like at least like Miami's got like the club life and like Cubano sandwiches and whatever, like that's something that his family can latch on to. Then y'all told me the Bulls.
Hey, okay, wait, hold on. We are looking at what the teams can offer now. If we're looking at best trade packages and what, think about it, Giddy and Giannis, like that can be something. Like what?
But where I want to throw out the
Guys, got
trade package for us, I want to tell you if the Hornets can unlock a first round pick, that's 3 first round picks, 3 or 4 first round picks we can send for Giannis.
guys, guys.
They're not taking. They're
Let's
not
let's
taking
not
it.
let's not let's not diverge from the script here. We all know that Giannis is going to end up in New York, Nick. Let's not diverge from the script. Adam
See,
Silver is a terrorist. Adam Silver knows that New York is the best market outside of LA, and he sees the Knicks' offensive struggles, and he raises you double and says, "Here's Giannis. Go cat. Fuck off to Milwaukee. You can package in a couple of other role players. Let's say I don't know, Deuce McBride and like two firsts and let's call it a day. That's the boss
They don't
call
have any first.
that will be made. They something is going to
The
happen.
Knicks don't
Maybe
have any first, so that's an issue. First of all,
I,
that's
I
why I
I
didn't say him.
I think ultimately it's probably gonna involve a third team to where they can
Yeah.
get that first.
Yeah.
But I do think that Giannis were to get traded, it's going to be in New York, and we're just going to have to all accept it. Adam Silver is gonna confirm or approve any trade of Giannis to New York because this is Adam Silver. This is Adolph Silver's league. I mean, for goodness sake, we already seen what he did with the reserves on both sides in the East and West. All right, so he already had Cat over Embiid as a reserve. Number one. All right. He gave LeBron James, someone like LeBron, the Clayton Kershaw treatment, made him a reserve over guys like Kawhi Leonard, who's actually been balling out. On the West sides, making making someone like Danny Shiba, who's been balling out this year, but making him a reserve over guys that actually deserved it. Like this is Silver's league. We're just living in it, and you know what? He failed in getting us that LA Boston finals that he so desperately wanted. He ain't gonna miss if Giannis goes to New York. And this is a team that's, won't need to do much. You don't have to worry about the spacing issues. The only thing that they have to worry about is cleaning that third team to get that first round pick. Because
But
that's ultimately what Milwaukee should be looking for. But we all seen in the past, Milwaukee is pretty fucking stupid when it comes to trading away very key pieces of their team, a la Drew Holiday to the Celtics. So again, I'm looking at the writing on the wall. I see the writing on the wall, and I don't like what I see. All right, the writing some very nasty words on the wall right now.
I'm not comparing Drew Holiday to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm sorry. I get what you're saying. I do, but I don't think Milwaukee is that dumb. I'm 100% sure that they know what they have in Giannis, and they are not going to take no lousy freaking second rounder type trade for Giannis, like for a top 3 player in the league right now. Like, let's
I'm
not
just saying.
disrespect. I know what you're saying, but I don't think that their front office is that retarded. So,
I,
eh,
I'll say this about like Silver's. I know you said that about like he probably gonna find a way to get. You know, you can say that about the Warriors, like Giannis and Steph together. You don't think Silver wants that?
Oh yeah, I
Honestly,
bet. I bet that's probably another thing he wants to. He just wants a draw. That's what Silver wants. He wants a draw. And right now, like, no disrespect to your Heat, Gianni, but right now, there ain't really nobody in particular that's is quite a draw. It's Giannis to Miami starting a brand new core with that. With Chicago, like again, there ain't anything appealing right now with that. I think
you
the top two options right now are Golden State and New York.
I say the problem with New York though is if they're going to trade for Giannis, yeah, they need a third team, but they have to gut the entire team basically. If you think about it, PC, like they might have to trade everybody almost except Brunson, of course. Nickel Bridges probably has to be in the deal too, to a third team. Maybe to Nets. Maybe he go back to Brooklyn. Maybe they find a way to get Portland in the deal and get Drew Holiday because there's also a rumor that Giannis wants Drew Holiday on the new team. So it's a lot that's going to happen because if Drew Holiday is going to get involved as well, then I don't know what team is going to actually trade for Giannis because Minnesota and New York is in the second apron right now, so it's impossible for them to get Drew Holiday as well. So I could see Golden State getting both guys maybe if they make a competitive deal and a
Jesus
three-team deal.
Christ. Here I'm thinking that the dynasty is dead. Jimmy Butler tore his ACL as well. He's out for the rest of the year. So it
And there's reports that they're not going to include Jimmy in any trade for Giannis. So it's going to be Draymond Green and Pozeski, I think, and I don't know who else, and Kaminga, and 4 first round picks. Like the players are not like amazing. They're probably gonna send Draymond to a third team, honestly, at that point because I don't think the Bucks will keep Draymond.
The, I mean, my goodness, if they do, you imagine a team with him, Bobby Portis, Doc Rivers, Darvin Ham, all on the same team. I mean, that's
That's
just
not
bad ethics. That's bad ethics, man. That's I can't. I don't even want to imagine that. Actually, that would be truly nasty. The landscape of the NBA, I think, is going to change for better or for worse, regardless this trade deadline. And it's going to start with that domino effect coming from Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm not calling my shot like Shams did in the offseason, saying this is going to be the craziest offseason we've ever seen before in NBA. I'm not going to say all that. What I will say, however, is that Giannis going somewhere else is most likely going to open up the door for a lot of potential big swings in the Eastern Conference and especially in the Western Conference if it were to go down. We don't have to wait and see where Giannis ends up towards the end of this season. But now we can get to the penultimate topic. All right, because it's not just about Giannis. It's about all of our teams. It's about the Heat. It's about the Rockets. It's about the Sixers. Um, and which player we would love to see our teams go after. I guess we kind of already got your answer, Gianni. So I'll go to you first, Shello. With your Rockets, who have been just trying to survive. Don't have Brett Van Vliet. He tore his ACL at the beginning of the year. Now you don't have Steven Adams, who also had a season-ending injury. Which player would y'all like to go after? Which player do you desire this trade deadline?
Uh, PC. It's been a whirlwind of emotions this season. I'm gonna be honest with you. This was supposed to be the year that it was supposed to hit over the top, and right at the end of the off season, it just Brad Van tore his ACL. I think that was the first heartbreak for me. We just lost Steven Adams this past week for the season. That kind of hurt too. So I'm kind of on a whirlwind of what we need. Now, we 100% need a point guard. That's not even a question. Reed Shepard and Almond, they were supposed to step up. They have proven to me that they are not playmakers. Reed is just purely a shooter. Almond is pure athleticism. As far as that goes, I'd really and truly want to see a Kobe White. Like I was hearing the rumors from Chicago. I think that he definitely opens up that playmaking ability for us. As far as a cheaper option and not having to give up too much. Um, I really like how that has been sufficing. I hope that we do get that deal done. Another one that was coming up earlier, Isaiah Hartenstein, and I really do like that. I really do like that fit as far as replacing a Steven Adams. That would be an upgrade, in my opinion, over Steven Adams right now. Even though Steven Adams is a really good offensive rebounder, I like Hartenstein's scoring ability a lot more. He is still a really good defender. Um, I think out of those two, I would 100% go Kobe White because we still do have Şengün, we still have a Capella. We can do without Steven Adams right now. We need point guard. That's not even a question. So Kobe White, my opinion, is the go-to for me right now. So yeah.
As far as my Sixers go, um, I've been going into the season with zero expectations, and as a result, I mean, it's been kind of a whirlwind, especially this past week. I mean, Adam Silver saw that 360 dunk Paul George had in the 9 threes he had against I forgot who he played, where he had 32 points, and he was like, "Yeah, that don't look right," and promptly suspended him for 25 games, which fair enough, fair enough. And then you have of course, Joel Embiid, who, I mean, it's just been outstanding. God bless, God bless, God bless, Dr. Glasshow, man. changed my life, man. Changed a lot of people's lives for the better. Um, and this is still a team that is still in playoff contention. Of course, with Tyrese Maxey and his All-Star starter form that he's been in, VJ Edgecombe, who's been great. Uh, this team sucks rebounding. Like genuinely, we suck at rebounding. Um, Bottom of the league in that sense. So, if there was one player that I could think up the top of my head that could just genuinely make a difference in terms of rebounding, but also in terms of just playing, making hustle plays on defense that we need, potential two-way, to make up for, essentially a guy like Jabari Walker or Dominic Barlow, who, let's be honest, probably aren't going to get crucial playoff minutes. I need someone that's battle tested, someone that has experience, most importantly, someone that has been to the playoffs before and has won an NBA title. All right. Won't be the popular option because fan base hates him right now, but give me Bobby Portis from the Bucks. Um, right now, that Bucks team ain't gonna last long. They ain't gonna survive. Um, and it will have to start with the offer that Milwaukee would be looking for. But I think Portis can come in. You wouldn't ask him to shoot because we already have 3, 4 options for that. All I need him to do is be a facilitator, be a rebounder, all right, be a glass cleaner that we need. Right now, especially Giannis out, he's being asked to be a two-way. And at his age, like that's kind of crazy to ask. I mean, he was coming off the bench to begin with. Um, yeah, I don't need that. All I need is for Bobby Portis to come in, play defense, clean up the boards, clean up the glass, and step up when we need him to. That's all. And I think Bobby Portis, he's showing the best. He is more than capable of doing that. So there was one player that I would actually love to have by the time trade deadline ends. It's him. So yeah, Bobby Portis to the Sixers. Gianni, outside of Giannis, any other potential realistic, we'll say, um, options for the
Um,
Heat?
I'm thinking of like a role player that can, just help a little bit with the scoring and defending. Um, I have no like, I'm not really sure PC. I'll tell you honest, because the other player that we've been linked to, there's only two players we've been linked to. PC. It's been Giannis and John Morant, basically. The outside of those two players, we haven't. And John Morant is more realistic because his trade value is down, basically. PC. I think a lot of teams should actually look into him because he can help, especially like a team like the Rockets. Joe, I'm not sure if you're interested in John Morant because of his playmaking, and I think you guys need a point guard, honestly, with the way the team is and everything. So I think John Morant, PC, is another guy that I will look into because his trade value is all the way down. Honestly, somebody's going to end up trading for him. There was like a rumor too that the Pelicans were interested in him and stuff like that. So I say John Morant because of his trade value. They sold down his value. I don't think they're going to even get a first for him. Honestly, that's sounds crazy too.
Um, my biggest thing on Gianni, is his trade value is low, but it's not low to where he's worth role players and maybe seconds. You're gonna get a first out of Ja, and
Yeah, at least
I
one first. I'm not saying
I
like
am not I am not in the market for somebody who is, as of right now, he's looked at as a cancer to the team. Even though he has been stepping up. He's been showing out these past couple of weeks, but um in the environment that Houston is, necessarily that nightlife, um, he can 100% crash out here, and he is not an option to where I would pay high for him just to be in a worse situation. or a similar situation that he is in Memphis right now. Um, when all we really and truly need is a placeholder, or in that we don't necessarily need a dynamic playmaker necessarily. We have a Kevin Durant, we have a Şengün, like we have guys. Now I wouldn't mind Ja. My biggest thing is what we would give up for him. So that's my whole thing. I don't think he's worth a first
I got
on
just
my
the guy
team.
for you. I got just the guy for you, Jello, and you don't even need to trade away anybody to actually get him. It's about
Don't you dare, because I know what's gonna come out your mouth.
what's gonna come out of my mouth.
Are you gonna say Chris Paul?
What?
Oh,
See, look
I
at you
thought you was
assuming,
gonna
bro.
say Chris
Look at you
Paul.
assuming, man. No, someone that's far less, but that's much younger. Someone that actually actually like has a chip on his shoulder. Somebody that actually has something to prove. All right, I'm talking about Ben Simmons, buddy.
All right, bro.
You're gonna
Goodbye.
be great.
It's time to go.
He's gonna look
It's time
great
to
in
go, bro.
crimson red. All right, and
It
he's gonna do
is
great things
Is
for
he
the
on
city
a
of
team right
Houston, bro.
now?
I,
end the episode, bro. End the episode on me, bro. Like that's
I think it would be a
it's
great pickup.
time. It's
You don't have to ask for much either. You don't have to ask for much.
Isn't he a free agent too? Like,
Exactly, he's a free agent. Like you can literally just sign him
oh,
y'all
to a
are
okay.
vet
funny.
minimum.
Y'all are hilarious. I see what we doing.
I
Okay,
feel like I feel like it would be not that
I
bad.
see
Like it would be
what
the
we
worst thing. It wouldn't be the worst option. It really wouldn't. Like
Well,
genuinely saying, it wouldn't be the worst option.
I am
sign
not
him.
having a Ben freaking Simmons. We already have a lack of shooters. Why would I add another non-shooting player on my team?
No. You
Let
need a
alone a
facilitator.
guard.
You need a general, a floor general. Ben is more than capable of doing that. Plus, he's been working on his shot. You didn't see him in the gym, bro? Like, come on now.
Man, I seen him make 1 3. Great, cool. That
Yo,
little that
those
little
gym highlights,
I seen them
freaking
LA
fire.
I think it
Fitness
would be great.
threes. I'm not for it. Okay, please
PC,
next
I have
topic,
one
bro.
question for you. What do
Uh-huh.
you think? What kind of like, I don't know, what role player you think that is like low key that could be on the move right now? That is like a actual really good guy that can just come in the bench and just help a championship team, like the top teams.
Uh, Funny enough, if he could just stay healthy, Anthony Davis, I mean, but that's the thing about AD. I mean, he can stub his, pinky toe on the corner of the beds, and he's going to be out for at least 3 months. But when he does play, AD is someone that's I think is more than capable of helping a championship team out. Um, you have I mean, there's a couple of other guys that I think off the top of my head, maybe a Michael Porter Jr., depending on what Brooklyn wants to do. Um, there's a lot of like options out there for like
Trey
players that
Murphy Jr., I think is the other. I remember hearing
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Trey Murphy, I mean, there's basically every player on that Pelicans roster is available at this point. Um, you got Zion as well, who could potentially be on the move. So yeah, man, there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot to be said. Um, you know, I'm really I feel like I feel like the Hawks kind of jumped the gun on Trey Young. Yeah, I mean they were ready to get rid of him, send him to Washington in a heartbeat. But so with trade deadline coming up, Trey Young would have been perfect in Houston right now. Um, so I don't know, man. There's going to be a lot of like I don't think a lot of big moves this trade deadline, but definitely a lot of like rumors that are going to be circulating over the next like 2 weeks for sure in that sense. Uh, but hey, we gotta see how that pans out. And we'll have a lot more to say about the All-Star game come next week for next week's episode. But let's get to the last topic of the night. Let's go back to the NFL. Let's talk about the head coaching hires because now officially confirmed, every team has found their brand new coach at the top. So going down the list of all the new hires, it is important to note, especially with the start of Black History Month, not a single black head coach. Only one offense coordinator hired during this entire process. But for the Bills, they got Joe Brady. For the Steelers, ended up picking Mike McCarthy. Ravens get Jesse Minter. Giants get John Harbaugh, of course. Falcons hire Kevin Stefanski. Dolphins get Jeff Hapley. Titans get Robert Sala, who's the only person of color in this group right here. Browns get Tom Munkin. Cardinals get Mike LaFleur. That was confirmed earlier today. And also confirmed earlier today, Clint Kubiak is expected to sign with the Raiders to be their next head coach. So out of all these head coaching hires, all right, which one was the best in your opinion? Which was the worst? Um, for me, I think the best hiring out of this entire group, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna ultimately have to go with I'm gonna go with Clint Kubiak for the Raiders. I mean, he is going to be the first big name off the Mike McDonald tree to fall. And I think that's the Raiders fans, we all see him in chat that this is the guy, this is their guy, this is who they wanted. Um, he's an offensive mind that I think is going to bring a lot of exciting things to an offense that doesn't have a lot to show for right now. Um, and Fernando Mendoza, along with Ashton Genty, forgetting about Brock Bowers, who I think a lot of people forgot about Brock Bowers. Um, there's a couple of like cool pieces on the Raiders offense, at least right now. Not something that they can really build on, but something that they can at the very least give the fans a show in person. So I would say that was the best. The worst though, I think undoubtedly has to be Tom Monken to the Browns. And it's not even because of Tom Monken himself. It's because of the Browns organization. I mean, my goodness, when your best player and multiple key players on that team, who one of them is on a contract year, is outright saying, "Hey, I think Jim Schwartz should be the head coach of this team," and you go ahead and hire Todd Monken instead, that's not fair to Todd. That's not fair to Jim, who, by the way, you pissed off so much now that he doesn't even want to be the DC anymore. All right, he wants to like not be there, even though he's still in the contract. So, um, I think that the Browns are gonna Brown, and they did the big one on this one, man. Tom Monken, his hands are already tied, and he hasn't even played. He hasn't even coached a game yet for him. Hasn't even had official practice with this new team yet. So I think that was the worst hire. Um, Jello.
Yeah, I really do like the Clint Kubiak hire. That was a really good hire from the Raiders. Um, but I think that my best one is an underrated one that people aren't really talking about that much, and that is Kevin Stefanski. Um, I do know his track record on the Browns. The Browns, it didn't end on good terms. I really and truly hate how he did Shador Sanders. That kind of messed up my judgment with him a little bit. But we're talking about this head coaching cycle. We're talking about a two-time coach of the year. Um, he brought Baker Mayfield to one of probably his peak of his, not necessarily his peak, because he's been doing his thing with the Buccaneers, but for the most part, bringing that Browns team to the playoffs, doing what he's doing, and we're coming into a Falcons team. We're talking about a Falcons team that has a Bijan Robinson, a Drake London, all of these weapons on offense, and that is necessarily his game. Um, a quarterback like Michael Penix, who is very unproven, very injury prone, but I see potential in him. I feel like that he can be unlocked, and I feel like Stefanski, if that is a guy that he's willing to buy into, um, that can turn out to be a really big thing, especially in the NFC South, where it's kind of easy to win and come out of there as far as playoff hopes and everything. I think that they are coming as far as immediate success. I would really like, um, the Falcons right now. I really like them, and I feel like Stefanski is going to bring them over the top. As far as worst hires, I definitely got to go Munkin. Like that's not even a debate. Um, I don't know what the Browns was doing in this hiring process. We have like they had like I think 3 or 4 interviews, and they were all very strange names, and come out with Todd Munkin. He was with them in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Their offense was not that great with him. We look at the Ravens. The Ravens took a bit of a hit under him as far as the offenses goes. But I mean, he was solid as a coordinator, offensive coordinator. But to be a head coach, after not having that dynamic of an offense with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, that just speaks volumes to me. Um, I don't like how their coaching staff is going to look with Jim Schwartz saying that he's going to retire now. Um, it seems like it's a lot of tension within that organization, especially after this hire. Um, I think that was probably easily the worst hire out of this cycle. So yeah, I'm gonna go with those two. My honorable mention, because I really and truly like that hire, Michael LaFleur. He is probably the most underrated coach out of everyone in this cycle. Um, I really like what he was doing with the Rams. Getting that experience under McVay. He was their offensive coordinator for 3 years, and that offense never took a dip. And going into this Cardinals team, we got Trey McBride, we got plenty of weapons. I don't know what's going to happen with Kyler. I don't know if he stays or not, but if he does stay, that's a coach that I would definitely want to play for. That's an offensive mind that I really like right now. So, shout out to LaFleur too.
Mm, go ahead, G.
I'm gonna start with my worst hire. I agree with all of you guys about the Cleveland Browns, Tom Munkin. I don't know where they're going. The Browns. They're gonna go. They're gonna be in the AC version of like the Giants PC as the funniest 4-13 team in that conference. Honestly, because I don't know what direction they're going into. Honestly, so they're gonna win 4 games again, and they're gonna be probably in the same cycle, getting a new coach next off season. So that's the worst hire. To me, the best hire, I like Jesse Minter to Baltimore. I like that hire a lot because if you look at the Ravens last season, they struggled defensively, honestly. And getting a defensive coach like that, who was with the Chargers, the last 2 years, the Chargers were a top five defense the last 2 years. I think they were like second in scoring defense last season. This season they were like I think like fifth or sixth in scoring defense. So helping a defense like that, honestly, to be a top five defense next season. And then you got Lamar that hopefully for Baltimore is healthy this coming season because he missed a lot of games with injuries and stuff like that. You have an offense that's potent enough, I think, now and now Minter can just come in and help that defense that was struggling all last season. Like they have something cooking there in Baltimore.
Yeah, this head coaching search certainly been interesting to say the least. Like I said, not a lot of minorities that were hired during this process, which um, I do think is worth mentioning, worth noting, especially like in Pittsburgh. I mean, we had talked about the potential of like a Brian Flores being like hired by any of these teams. There were so many options, and yet yeah, a team like Pittsburgh that decided to go with hometown boy instead. Who's way past the age of like head coaches that they usually hire. And there have been like other instances of other teams, with the other coordinators. I mean, there was a whole lot I think could have been like helped in that sense, but wasn't. Um, and you would think teams will help themselves out with the Art Ruling rule, but I suppose not. We might have to wait until next season to see that, to say the least. But hey, man, crazier things have happened. And a lot of things, a lot of new potential changes can happen. Especially after this upcoming season, we're supposed to have. There's going to be a ton of change coming our way. But with all that,
20 coordinator change. 21 offensive coordinator changes. That's insane.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
there's a
in
lot of
one.
bad offensive coordinators in today's league. That's why the offensive production this season out of all the seasons is the lowest in like 15 years. Basically, the yards,
Oh
for
wow.
passing yards and everything. It's the lowest in 15 years. Bad coaching, bad coordinator, play calls, bad schemes and everything. It's impressive to see what how Seattle is scheming and everything this season, and they're
Yeah.
having the success they have.
Only one only one black offensive coordinator that was hired during this entire process. Um, Look, man, I mean, again, crazier things have happened.
I
But
wanted to ask
we'll
this
see.
question before we go. Um, we looking at this process. We really and truly only had one true minority or black candidate that was like necessarily, in my opinion, worthy, and that was Brian Flores.
Mm.
I don't know if there's any other ones that come to mind. I know Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph is another one, another name. But my question is, do we blame that, or is there something to blame there? Is it a pipeline problem? Is it more of a black
Well,
coaches aren't getting out there?
I,
What
I I do think it's a pipeline issue. I mean,
yeah.
everything in this country goes back to colorism, racism, as
Mhm.
we know. And even like expanding past like Brian Flores, even a Raheem Morris, who there's still teams that might have like thought of him or took a chance on him. Nate Jailhouse, I know he's got to be mixed at the very least. And then you look even past like NFL head coaches, someone like a Marcus Freeman who's been rumored for the last couple of years now to potentially take a role in the NFL. Like I do think that it is a pipeline issue that they're dealing with. Because we ask this question every single year. And every now and then you get like a team that just kind of it's interviews at the very least, but don't actually pull the trigger. And I don't know. I do feel like that is an issue in the NFL.
PC, I agree. Like Brian Flores, honestly, should have a job, like a head coaching job.
Hmm.
Vance Joseph should get other job. Like really, I feel like something has to change in a way, man. Like because these guys deserve head coaching jobs. Honestly, Flores deserved one. Vance Joseph, and the list can go on and on. Really, like I agree, man. Like these guys need to get a head coaching job. I know for sure. I know for sure. Brian Flores is going to get one next season. I don't know with who, but he's going to definitely get one.
You can only hope, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't think Flores is going to get a job until that lawsuit is settled with the
Yeah.
NFL. I think that they're going to kind of blackball him. That's my take on him.
Mm.
Um, as far as any other ones go, Raheem Morris, I don't think he's going to get another job anytime soon. I did like that hire from the 49ers with that, as far as that goes. Christian Walker,
That's another
who
name.
we just hired as coordinator for the Cowboys. I really liked his work with the Eagles, all honesty. And I hate y'all. But he coached them dudes up. And if he can really elevate this defense, as far as we had a freaking tumultuous season at defense, and if he's able to bring that up, um I 100% see him getting an early exit from Dallas and taking a head coaching position. So I really do like his trajectory. There's a lot of other names that I can think of right now. But I kind of I didn't like this hiring process for black coaches this season. There was really only two really notable ones that you could really put out there. I do think that it's a pipeline issue. I also think that there's not enough, black coaches getting that many opportunities, like not necessarily in head coaching roles, but in the lower roles, assistant positions, different stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you just got to get names out there. That's the biggest thing, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Um, it's always an ongoing battle. Always
Hmm.
it's always an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
Um, we don't have to wait and see how it all pans out. I mean, the NFL world is all eyes are going to be on Santa Clara in 7 days. It's going to be a sight to see. All right, I don't know about y'all. I don't really care about the game itself, but I'm ready for the Bad Bunny the halftime show. That's really the only thing I'm going to care about. It's just again, time is a flat circle. All right, 2016, it was the same thing. It's crazy. All right. But with that being said, we're at the end of episode 252, y'all. So want to thank y'all boys for popping out for this episode this week, man. And for all your listeners, everybody has been following us through this journey. All right, call a loved one, check up on them, tell them that you love them, stay hydrated, of course, and follow up with the people that are in your court, especially on the East Coast. I mean, my goodness, the South is still getting hit with snow a week later. Thankfully, New Jersey dodged that. It's just really cold here and icy, and you can't really do anything about it. It's just miserable. Um, and it's especially considering all the protests that are going on all across the country. Um, I think people are fed up, and that's a good thing. People are tired. That's a good thing. People are angry. That's a good thing because you want to see change. You have to see change. In order to see change, there needs to be a revolt. There needs to be a rebuttal. There needs to be some sort of fight in the American people. And I do think that's we're getting to that point. We're really getting to that point. Um, I don't know what this country is going to look like in another year or two. I mean, again, so much can change and happen during this time span. But one thing that has to stay certain, one thing that has to stay true and near and dear to everybody's hearts, is unity, community during a time like this. All right. Lend a helping hand, especially to the ones that you care about, the ones that are in your circle. We'll be back for episode 253. Come next week. We're gonna be recording right in the middle of Super Bowl 60. So make sure y'all stay tuned. My name is Billy Cameron, aka PC, joined by Jello and Gianni this week, boys. We will see y'all later on. All right. Goodbye.